it is the conditions of the chemical equilibrium. So let's have a look at what are the main conditions for the chemical equilibrium in which the chemical equilibrium can be maintained or the equilibrium state can be attained. So there are basically we have five conditions. So the number one condition for the chemical equilibrium, as long as these conditions are kept constant. So these conditions need to be kept constant. Now, what are these conditions? Then the reaction will remain in the equilibrium state if we kept these conditions constant. So, the number one condition that we need to keep constant, it is the concentration of reactants and the concentration of the products. We need to keep these constant. Next, the second condition is we need to keep the temperature of the system constant. Temperature of the system, it must be kept constant. Next we have the third one condition, it is the pressure of the system, it must be kept constant. Next, the fourth one condition for the chemical equilibrium, we have the volume of the system, it is the volume of system, it must be kept constant. And the last one condition is that catalyst, if we have used it in the system, it must remain unchanged. If we have used the catalyst, it must remain unchanged. Unchanged mean we have used the same catalyst at the end. And what does mean by catalyst? These are the substances used to increase the rate of chemical reaction. So mainly the catalysts are the substances that are used to increase the rate of the chemical reaction. If there is a reaction that is going to be done in the 50 minutes without the catalyst, and when we are going to add the catalyst in it, it is going to be done now in 10 minutes. So this is the work of catalyst. Basically, we are learning over there the conditions for the chemical equilibrium. The number one, the reactant and product concentration must be constant, temperature of the system is constant, the pressure of the system must be remain constant, and volume of the system remains constant. And at the end, the catalyst, if we are going to use, then it must be remain unchanged. So basically, these are the five conditions for the chemical equilibrium. And on the other hand, if we are having a chemical equilibrium, then the chemical equilibrium, it cannot be gained in an open system. If we have an open container or if we have an open system, then chemical equilibrium cannot be gained. So for the equilibrium, we need a closed container. Open container, if we have, then all the gaseous products or the reactants may be escaped to the atmosphere, so we will not be able to gain the equilibrium in a open container. So we need a closed container for the attainment of the equilibrium state. When a system reaches equilibrium, it will remain in the same state forever. When the equilibrium is gained or stable, then it will remain unchanged until if we are going to change the conditions. If we change the prevailing conditions on the chemical reactions, then the equilibrium may be changed. But if the conditions are kept constant, then we will be able to kept the equilibrium for a long time. And if we are going to increase the temperature, if we increase the temperature, then kinetic energy of the molecules also increases. In turn, the equilibrium will be changes. So the reaction will move either in the forward direction or in the reverse reaction to attain the equilibrium. Once the equilibrium is attained, then we have to keep the conditions constant. Otherwise, if we are going to change the conditions, then the equilibrium may also be changed. So this is the topic that we have explained today about the conditions of the chemical equilibrium. And for the chemical equilibrium, these conditions are very important to be kept constant. I hope you guys understand about our today's lecture. And if you guys have any queries, you can ask me about that in the comment section. For that time, have a good day and Allah Hafiz.